To me, it just seems like a very good thing. Actually, they're setting history as we speak right now. History in the whole entire world, which is good. Um, I think it's cool that smaller countries like this are stepping up and you know taking the bull by the horns in a sense.
Right, right.
Uh, I have an article from I was on Coinbase earlier and seen this article on Coinbase. Started reading a little bit about the El Salvador thing. Thought it was pretty cool what they're actually doing. Instead of using like normal electricity, they're doing what's that? Volcanic geothermal.
Yeah, so I was just going to go ahead and read over this article right here, over here
Yeah.
on the ZDNet. It's just a random article I pulled up that, essentially will be talking about it. But El Salvador has become the first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender, as President Naib, yeah. Well, their president wants to take this one step further, planning to create a 100% renewable crypto mining facility using volcanoes. With the bill's passage, Bitcoin will instantly be converted into USD and will have the same legal standing. Uh, Prices can now be displayed in Bitcoin. Merchants must accept payment in Bitcoin. Tax contributions can be paid in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin exchanges will no longer be subject to the country's capital gain tax. The state is under the obligation to promote the to promote and protect private enterprise, generating the necessary conditions to increase national wealth for the benefit of the greatest number of inhabitants. And the bill goes on to talk about that. But essentially, what I'm assuming is that they will be probably using some kind of geothermal, uh, you know, some kind of geothermal. Um,
Yeah, I mean that's geothermal the geothermal energy to produce for the mining. That's exactly what it's looking like here in this article too. It says, I'm only going to read a few excerpts out of it, but this is from what's his name, Nicholas Gans, and that's from Forbes.com, which I normally don't really go to Forbes.com for crypto news, but I had seen this article, and so I figured I'd read a couple excerpts from it. It says, the president mentioned that the country had plans unrelated to Bitcoin to expand infrastructure and stimulate development around the country's source of geothermal energy. And it goes on and says the country loses large amounts of this energy to oversupply or through transporting it to cities on the outskirts of the plants. He says we want to promote industrial parks where you can set up your factory and you will receive cheap, clean, renewable energy. So I think that's pretty cool. And, like it says right here, with the recent crackdown on coal powered Chinese miners and the concerns from Tesla and others around Bitcoin's energy consumption, El Salvador could prove to be a more friendly location for operations from both a regulatory and an environmental stance. So I think what they're doing is actually pretty sweet. They're setting a new pace for the renewable energy field in Bitcoin. So I think that's actually pretty slick, man.
Oh yeah, most certainly. I think it's just going to show you that we're just one step closer for it all to continue going up from here. I mean, we go ahead and we look at Bitcoin right now. We look at where they were. yesterday at 31,050, and then today they had they went all the way up to a high of from essentially that low right before midnight yesterday to today they hit a high of 37,000, nearly 38,000, and that's in light of the news that that's in light of the news of what happened over in El Salvador. And so you think about this, right? You think about this spike up from 31 all the way up to 37, right? You think about how this is day one of El Salvador having that as legal tender. So imagine when it actually starts to really get used as legal tender, because I think I heard somewhere about it was going to take about that businesses had like 90 days to basically get prepared for transactions in Bitcoin. And so imagine imagine where it's going to be next month when 20% of their population is using is starting to, or not necessarily 20% of their population, but 20% of the population that would have used Bitcoin will be using Bitcoin, and then it'll continue to expand until the whole, it's going to start in the regions, right? Regionally, everywhere it's going to be expanding. And so, after the 90 days, that's when we're going to end up seeing, you know, a lot more, a lot more buying into Bitcoin, you know.
I agree 100%. And I mean, with this freaking spike that just happened in Bitcoin, I'm looking on Coinbase's graph right now for the 1 day. And when I'm looking at it, all I see on the very end of the tail after it drops down from 37,685 to 30 to what it is now, 36,936. All I see is an upward tail there, and it doesn't look like it has any indications of coming down until you look at the hour. When you look at the hour, I see that we're seeing some people maybe taking some profits or something. Um, but at the same token, once El Salvador sets the pace for um, setting Bitcoin as a legal tender, I think other countries and even banking institutions and stuff like that are going to be preparing for Bitcoin to be a legal tender all across the globe. Um, because now they see El Salvador getting in on that, right? And everybody's going to want a piece of that pie. Except for it's going to take a long time for certain countries due to regulations and laws that they're going to try to pass on it, and so forth and so on. But I see Bitcoin coming back. I see it. I see maybe another upward spike here this before the end of the weekend, and we might see it hit 40 grand again.